And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry.
Bill Maher has made it his personal mission to dismantle woke arguments like it's a full-time occupation. And his latest target is none other than Whoopi Goldberg. Let's be honest, the actress practically invited the spotlight with her growing list of eyebrow-raising remarks over the last few years. Since 2022, Maher hasn't merely disagreed with her. He's systematically broken down her arguments piece by piece, delivering a takedown so sharp it left Whoopi scrambling like a cartoon character dodging falling anvils. So what exactly did Goldberg say this time to ignite Maher's unfiltered response? And how did his razor-sharp comeback send shockwaves through the woke crowd? Buckle up, because this isn't a smooth ride. It's a full-speed roller coaster with no seatbelts.
We have got to get past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. The right response to speech you don't like is more speech.
Whoopi Goldberg stirred the pot, and now she's facing the consequences, and they're anything but graceful. You might remember our earlier breakdown where Bill Maher dismantled Sunny Hostin for twisting his words. Well, it turns out the View panel didn't take that loss quietly. Enter Whoopi Goldberg, seemingly stepping in to even the score. If Sunny couldn't withstand Maher's fire, reinforcements were called in, and Whoopi arrived ready for confrontation, like a contestant in a reality show no one asked for, but everyone ended up watching.
And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
It was classic Whoopi Goldberg, flipping through the woke playbook as if it were sacred text. When the argument begins sinking fast, she pivots to a strawman defense and launches a full assault. Maher's point was straightforward. Black Americans want better jobs, a stronger economy, and fair, accountable policing. Clear and direct. But Whoopi jumped in with a rambling defense of supporting a former prosecutor and vague initiatives for working families. Did it connect? Not even close. Was there logic? None to be found. It was like tossing darts blindfolded and hoping something landed. And Maher was not about to let that slide.
Tear down statues of Lincoln and get rid of the police. Just, no. It's not that I've gotten old, it's that your ideas are stupid.
Maher pointed out that Whoopi's argument lacked coherence, a trait that's become all too familiar on The View. The show has morphed into the political equivalent of a slow-motion train wreck. Painful to watch, yet somehow impossible to ignore. While it's long been known for polarizing opinions, Sunny Hostin and Whoopi Goldberg have taken the chaos to another level with increasingly outlandish takes. When Charlemagne the God appeared as a guest, you could almost see him wondering if he'd stepped into an alternate reality.
All of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time and, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now.
Here's where things escalated. President Joe Biden, who frequently insists that no one is above the law, pardoned his son Hunter Biden following convictions related to corruption-linked charges. That decision sparked immediate backlash. How do you champion equality before the law while granting your own son a clean slate? Hunter's misconduct was hardly subtle, yet accountability suddenly vanished. This is where Charlemagne stepped in, pointing out that if the principle truly matters, it must apply universally. Simple concept, right? Apparently not, because Whoopi had a very different interpretation.
I'm gonna stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a sudden?
No, I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
And there it was, another facepalm moment from Whoopi Goldberg. This time she claimed President Biden never contradicted himself when saying no one is above the law. That claim collapses instantly when confronted with reality. Video clips, audio recordings, public statements, all clearly show Biden making that exact promise. Denying it doesn't erase it, and Maher made sure that contradiction didn't go unnoticed.
This nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
Watching Whoopi attempt to justify the contradiction was like watching someone insist the sky isn't blue while standing under a cloudless horizon. At this point, her mental gymnastics could qualify for an Olympic event. You could see the disbelief written all over Charlemagne's face. Yet she pushed further, suggesting Biden may have simply grown tired of being criticized. That explanation left Charlemagne visibly stunned. The argument collapsed under its own weight.
So I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that they're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. They don't have to do that.
The deeper issue, Maher argued, is selective outrage. The so-called woke crowd amplifies wrongdoing only when it's politically convenient. When the offender belongs to their own circle, outrage quickly turns into quiet excuses or selective memory loss. Accountability disappears. While Charlemagne pressed back in real time, it was Maher who later delivered the knockout punch, unleashing one of his most surgical takedowns in recent memory.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bull.
Maher laid it out plainly. The woke movement presents itself as the moral authority, yet its double standards are impossible to ignore. Hunter Biden was guilty, yet consequences evaporated because of political power. If the roles were reversed, outrage would be relentless. This isn't justice, it's favoritism. Maher framed it as a systemic problem, one that protects the powerful while punishing everyone else. His critique wasn't just timely, it was a wake-up call. And then he went even further, pointing out the role of mainstream media in shielding this hypocrisy.
Was it appropriate to bury the Hunter Biden?
You're talking about the press doing that?
He's saying that's what they did, and that is what they did. They buried the Hunter Biden story before the election because they were like, we can't risk having the election thrown to Trump. We'll tell them after the election.
And we know for a fact that that's what they did?
Of course. You don't
but
follow
I mean,
this.
saying you know for a fact that that's what they did. I don't know what they did.
I know, because you only watch MSNBC.
No, that's not true.
Major media outlets minimized the Hunter Biden scandal, dismissing it as disinformation while suppressing dissenting voices. Whoopi Goldberg echoed those dismissals on The View, reinforcing the narrative rather than questioning it. Maher wasn't having it. He dismantled the excuses point by point, exposing how narrative protection replaced journalistic skepticism. Instead of seeking truth, the media chose sides.
Above any matters of politics or what's right or wrong, the one thing I know for sure about America is this. It's run by mean girls. Mean girls in the press and in politics and in life. And when they smell blood in the water, the lust to finish off a vulnerable person will never be denied.
Maher argued that the View panel doesn't engage in debate. They enforce conformity. Anyone outside their ideological bubble becomes a target. Whoopi, in particular, has perfected the art of dismissing opposing views with casual contempt. But Maher didn't back down. He called out what he saw as performative activism masking bullying behavior. His critiques resonated because viewers are exhausted by biased narratives dressed up as moral certainty.
Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here, as if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office, but they do. But a poll last year asked, if America is the greatest country in the world, more blacks and Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives. It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey.
Maher insisted it's time for the woke movement to stop obsessing over Trump's victory and confront reality. Elections don't always produce preferred outcomes, and that's not a system failure. It's democracy functioning as designed. Blaming scapegoats instead of reassessing strategy only guarantees future losses. If progressives want to compete again, reflection must replace denial.
Said there's a coalition of Trump voters, people who really like him. They certainly are those. And then there's people who don't necessarily like him that much, but they still think he's less crazy than stuff that strikes them as aggressively anti-common sense.
Maher made another key point. Not everyone who voted for Trump did so enthusiastically. Many did it reluctantly, frustrated by endless lectures and ideological rigidity. Voters weren't embracing chaos. They were rejecting condescension. If Democrats want to regain ground, they must reconnect with the middle instead of chasing every fringe demand.
Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. No. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
In the end, Maher didn't just win the exchange, he dominated it. Whoopi Goldberg, a vocal champion of tolerance, criticized Maher simply for thinking independently. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Maher exposed the contradiction at the heart of the woke echo chamber, where diversity of opinion is celebrated only until someone actually practices it. Watching him dismantle those arguments was like watching an artist at work, using sarcasm and logic instead of paint and canvas. And this brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, then hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next.